was so special about your junior year?
Yeah.
I mean, like, what was that all about? You was a guy running with a blind guy
Right.
to run a race. Tell us a little bit about that.
It took everything, that took everything away from me.
Wow.
For me to play like I did for him and perform like I did for him, and he did that to me.
Years. Well, man, look, first, I just want you guys to know, man, look, thank y'all for being here. And look, welcome to Impact Over Income, the life of a black college athlete. I have here today with me two amazing young people. I have a father and a son. Y'all have met my best friend, Franz Holmes, who came and helped me start this thing off. But he brought a friend, a son, with him today to help us have a deeper conversation about impact over income. So I want you all to tell the people who you guys are, who we got here.
I'm Roger Holmes.
And who are you?
I'm Franz Holmes.
Absolutely.
All right, well, do me this. Tell me this. Give me a little bit about you. Who are you, and what brought you to this space right now that we're in right now? What do you think impact over income means?
That's a pretty good question, man. So I was raised here in Nashville. Went to Martin Luther King High School. Went to Tennessee State, and man,
That's right.
I spent the afternoons and the weekends at your crib.
Yeah.
And I watched you and Dad and y'all's relationship, and you guys kicking it, and little Ron, Shay, we all grew up together.
Yeah.
And so I live for full circle moments like this where we can all get together and come back and talk about what means the most and what matters the most and where we all started. Man, impact over income. That's such a loaded statement, but it's so true, man. Because there's so many people out chasing something. Whether it's fortune, whether it's fame, but it's the people that are surrounding you, the people that got you to where you are, the shoulders that you stand on.
Yeah.
That's what's most important. And it's so many times that we trade our health for our wealth.
Yep.
We're out looking for fortune and fame, and we forget what matters most with our friends and family, the people that supported you, the people that was there when you was down, the people that's going to be there for you when you are down. And sometimes it takes you having to take a step back and who am I going to call? Who am I going to pick up?
That's a nugget you just laid out there for us there. You know that was a nugget that you said, the shoulders that you stand on. I want to ask the shoulders that you've been standing on, what do you think about that? What does impact over income mean, sound, or is?
Impact.
What is that?
Impact is a person that have a profound decision making in your life, or your mom or your dad, that propel you to do something great in life. And my mom probably was the person that propelled me to be where I am today. That's that impact over income, because she cried when I said I was going to the military, because she already had two boys in the military. And she just asked me why wouldn't I just try go to school? And I said, well, Mom, if I get a scholarship, I will go.
Wow.
And that's how I ended up going to school, graduating with an industrial engineering degree, and me and my wife, and moving forward and playing football for 5 years. And at the end of the day, worked in engineering for about 18 years and started a business.
Wow. Impact. That's what we're talking about. That is impact. Wow. And what I'm hearing and seeing is that none of the things that you've done was never about money.
No.
It was always about the impact. I really hope that the people that are listening and looking at us right now and hearing this know how important it is to make an impact, because impact leaves legacy.
Absolutely.
And legacy lives forever.
Right.
And that's what I see right here. I see impact, I see impact, I see legacy, and then
Right.
I see it continuing. When you think about what your pops just said, what was it like when you got to Tennessee State University and, you was an athlete as well? What was that freshman year like? You know what, I got even a better question. If you could turn back time and go back to a space when you was in college, what year would you go to and why?
That's a good one. That's a good one. That's a real good one.
I would probably go back to my junior year.
Junior year. And why would you go to your junior year? What was so special about your junior year?
Yeah.
I
I mean, like, whoa, what was that all about?
Yeah. What that was
I feel
about.
like I had some direction. I had actually spent some time with my dad's football coach, Coach Gillum. And,
Okay.
And he had impacted me. He gave me some things to think about. He kind of changed my compass, and I kind of realized that I needed to follow my passion more so than trying to get a degree just for a paycheck. And so I moved back on campus after having my own place for and staying off campus.
I ain't never heard that.
I heard that.
But yeah, go ahead.
And I was back with the team, and I was focused on getting the most that I could get out of my experience and the relationships at Tennessee State versus when it's kind of crazy when you're a kid, you're in a rush to be grown.
Hurry up and hurry up.
Exactly, but then you get grown and then you realize, man, it was so nice when I was a kid, and I didn't have to worry about all that stuff. And so I moved back on campus, and I was focused on track, and I was focused on school.
Wow.
And I wasn't really worried about money. I was just trying to be the best student, the best athlete that I could be, and everything was a lot simpler.
That's amazing.
When that was all I was focused on.
Now,
Right.
old man,
What's up?
Roger.
That's right.
Let me ask you
Old
this
man.
real question. What would you go back to and why? If you could go back to a time in college where we was
Oh,
What
that's
would you go
easy.
to? What year you
My
go to?
freshman year.
freshman year.
Absolutely.
Tell us why.
I wouldn't change that a bit.
Tell me what happened your freshman year, boy, that made you say, I mean, sound like you'd freeze time right there.
I could have just froze time when I seen all them beautiful women.
Oh my God, it was a sight to see,
It was a
wasn't
sight to see. I mean, Coach had us up here, man. You sit back like, oh my God.
it? Yeah.
They just everywhere. It was just beautiful. I had never been anywhere much. Like I said, in my other interview, that my mom, we didn't travel nowhere mostly but Mississippi and back home when I was a kid. So we didn't get to see a whole lot. So I didn't get to see a whole lot of different things, and then to see that up on campus,
That's like a shell shock.
and then
Whoa.
the shell shock, then the parties, the everything, man. Then the boys. I mean, it was just
Wow.
a beautiful thing.
Man.
Yeah.
If I could
Yeah.
go and freeze time,
It's beautiful.
if I was able to do it, and I would go back to my junior year, that would be 1985. That would be 1985. If I went back, it'd be 1985.
Yeah.
The reason I would go back there was because that was one of my best years of being a football player, because it started that spring. At Tennessee State, you got to wait your turn.
Absolutely.
Because we had some bad boys. We had a first string, second string, and third string.
Absolutely.
And if any one of them guys got hurt, they didn't have no spot when they came back.
They ain't got no
You
spot.
don't get hurt. You don't even go and
Absolutely.
tell the coach you got a headache, the concussions we would have. So I would go to 1985, and I would freeze time right there while we were playing the different games. And I will never forget the words that were said to me by my mom before the tragic that I lived through after that was, I had the game of my life, and you remember this because you and I was on the football field. I had balled out, 3 interceptions, balled out, and then that next day I'm excited about telling my mom when I get drafted into the NFL next year, I'm going to buy her a big house, we're going to get out the projects, and telling my dad and a couple of my brothers and whatever they want.
Right.
And you remember all that. And then 3 days later, my mom was murdered.
Yeah. That's
That's
true.
why I would like to freeze the time and stay right there. One, that never happened, and we continue to celebrate that moment and that time.
Absolutely.
The unfortunate thing is we can't go back and change time. But having people like you that I've had in my life have been the joy of my life, having my best friend for all those years, 40 years, and then raising our kids together. Look, tell me.
Again, with the impact, reason I go back to the freshman year is because I didn't make the team. It took me 3 months to make the team.
That's right.
That was such a profound year because I didn't have nowhere to go. I knew I couldn't quit. So Coach kept me on the track for 3 months before I even got a uniform. So you couldn't even get a uniform back then unless you make your time. So that was a profound impact in my life because I didn't have nowhere to go but I quit. I had to go back home. I didn't want to go back home.
It really shaped you.
It shaped me.
It molded you to be. And would you say right now, because you are who you are, that resilience was birthed going through that
My
trauma?
freshman year?
Your freshman year.
Yes, sir.
I think that's amazing that you want to go back to a place where so much hurt was happening. And did you just know I just went back to the same place? But your son shared with us about the great wisdom that
he got. Yeah.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah, absolutely.
From one of the persons who've made that same impact. But I'm going to ask you this, Franz. So when you went to Tennessee State University, and you got a chance to see all of those beautiful young women from all over the world, what was that like for you? Because that's what we talked about. You know, it was a sight to see, but just what was that like for you?
I mean, it was amazing.
Oh, wow.
So there was man, no campus more beautiful than Tennessee State. Bar none.
Wow. Y'all need to hear that. Did y'all hear what he just said? And we're talking, this young man just said, this was what, 20 years ago you was in school?
20 years ago.
Yeah.
20 years ago.
And here we are.
2004.
Yeah, this is 25.
25.
I just find that to be just so amazing that you were saying that, and I'm sure some young people probably say those same things right now. That's amazing, that the impact and how it lives. But I'm gonna ask both y'all this question right here when you think about impact. What has been the most impactful thing in your life since you've been an adult out in this big old world working and doing some of those things? What person, what thing, what place that you've gone to that had made an incredible impact or impression in your life? Is there a person or an experience that you've had lately, or can you tell us about anything that has happened? You know, because college is where we can come up with so many incredible stories. But as an adult, what are some things that you have experienced that make you say, oh, I'm so glad I went through that, because had I not gone through that, I don't know what I would be doing. What would be one of those things that you've experienced?
Well, for me, one of the things that impacted me the most coming out of school was how I was affected by Coach Thomas. When I was thought I was going to get drafted.
Wow.
And it put me in a space that I didn't want to deal with nobody else. I didn't want to be with nobody. I didn't want to talk about football. I didn't want to do no more work. I didn't come around. I didn't go to no more TSU things. I didn't do anything. It impacted me. It impacted me so tough. I almost lost my marriage during that time.
And I want to tell y'all this, America, people who are watching this, Roger Holmes was one of the best defensive backs to ever play for Tennessee State University. And I'm telling you that, you can go Google it if you want. Google will tell you the story. He was one of the best shutdown corners. And for him not to get an opportunity to go to the NFL, I totally understand what you're saying, because I was there.
Right.
And that was such an impact.
Right.
And it almost made you lose your family. And if that would have happened, we wouldn't have Franz.
That's true. That's
But
true.
look at time.
Yeah, that's true.
So, Franz, what would be a space and time? But we're going to come back there, so I want you to hold that thought, because I really want us to, we're going to go deep into that space, because, McAfee shared some things with us a while back. You guys probably have seen McAfee, a podcast that he did with us. But we're going to talk about that. But, Franz, help us understand where you may have had a space like that.
Man, it's been a couple moments. It's been a couple things in time. Right out of college, I spent time as a guy runner, U.S. Paralympics.
So, oh boy, I'm glad you brought that up. As a, what you call it again?
Is a guy.
A guide runner.
A guide runner.
A guide runner.
He run with a blind guy.
Well, I just thought that when you said God, I just said, I knew you said guide, but I just used that God because that's how God leads us in doing so many amazing things. You was a guy running with a blind guy to run a race. Tell us a little bit about that.
It
what it consists of.
Yeah, it sounds simple. Basically, I am their eyes on the track. Wherever they go, I go. We come out the blocks together. I'm telling them to drive. Marking their steps, and I'm leading them around the track. We would have 2 lanes, and it's just like any other meet. If we go out of those lanes, we get disqualified. If I'm too far in front of him, we get disqualified. If I'm too far behind him, we get disqualified. And we worked. And
so you had to be pretty fast then. You had to be also
you got it.
Pretty unique.
You got to be faster than the athlete that you're running with, and you got to have enough fitness that you're actually able to communicate with.
I can only imagine doing that. Can you imagine that?
Yeah. I remember him doing it.
That is an amazing thing. And I know people that are probably watching this have no idea what we're talking about. How would they know and find out information about something like that to know? What would they look up, the Paralympics or?
Yeah, you can go to USA Paralympic Track and Field, teamusa.com. Jerome Avery, he's one of my friends, and one of the best athletes, the best guy runner in the world.
That is amazing.
That's one of the guys that I got to run with and train with. Joe Gray, what's the organization that him and Lex are doing?
That had to be just that alone had to be such a joy and an honor to do something like that.
The crazy thing is, it taught me perspective. It taught me perspective. It taught me gratitude. It taught me resilience, because I had to train with those athletes, and just to see them happy, just to see them joyous. And it's when you're working with the Paralympics, it's not just visually impairment. It's you may be out there with the amputee. You get to spend time with guys with cerebral palsy. Guys that they may have a disorder where their joints degrade over time. And so I remember I was out there on the track one time, and we were doing this workout, and it was Blake Leeper was out there with me, and he's a double leg amputee, and Coach Joyner's out there yelling at us, and I'm sitting there thinking, do I have another rep in me? And it's this guy next to me. My legs are hurting. He doesn't have any legs.
Wow.
And he's stepping up to the line. You can see a little bit of blood coming out of his prosthetic. God. And that teaches you something. That shows you, I've been blessed.
That's good.
And you start thinking about the things that that you've taken for granted.
Yeah.
And that's
impact.
Yeah.
That is a profound impact like no other.
Absolutely.
You get to be a part of something like that. And I know you said guide. I just use God because it just seems so kind of like the God that leads us. It was a perfect thing to just say God leading you to do what you did to help someone do the things that they love to do. And
absolutely.
As an athlete to bring them to the end, whether they win, lose, or draw in the races, you was there all along the way. That had to be an incredible reward.
Site School. Site School. That's the organization. Joe Gray and Les Gillette, and they're actually using that to educate and to bring in more guide runners. And Joe Gray's from Nashville, was one of my teammates, Tennessee State alumni, doing great things.
Wow. Well,
Absolutely.
you're going to have to put us in touch. Joe Gray?
Joe Gray.
Franz is going to be sending this to you, and we're looking to have you on the show very soon. Roger, let's get back to that conversation that we were just talking about.
What were we talking about?
Well, we was talking about how it made you feel when the draft came. We had another guy on here that was a 3-time All-American that told us a story about first round went. He was a projected, lottery pick. Second round went. Third round went. And then after that, he called his agent. And when he talked with his agent told him that he'd been blackballed. So I know the story, but America don't know the story. Tell us a little bit about what happened, the reason one of the best cornerbacks, as far as I'm concerned, and anybody can check me if they want to, that has ever played at Tennessee State University, especially shutdown corner, because I watched it. I used to leave you alone a whole lot over there on that sideline. It was like Revis Island over there, Rogers Island. What happened? And then how did it impact you?
What happened?
Tell me.
I was sitting in the room on campus, and all the picks went through, and it was just devastating.
Watching the draft, all the rounds are gone, everything is gone.
Everything was gone.
Roger Holmes didn't get called, nor did he get a free agent call.
And the phone rang. And it was Coach Gillum.
Coach Gillum.
Yeah,
What did Coach Gillum tell you?
Coach Gillum said,
Joe Gillum.
Coach Joe Gillum, senior. He asked me, did I even get a invite?
Free agency.
He said something serious is wrong. He said, come see me on Friday.
I was with you, I remember. So tell us, what did he tell us?
And that's all he said. He said, just come see me on Friday. I'll let you know what happened. And when I got there, he had a couple security guys there, and I walked in, and Coach said, sit down. I said, well, Coach, I'm gonna stand on up. He said, no, come on in. And he told me what Coach Thomas had said about the guy, that we was uncoachable, drug addicts, drunks, and on and on and on. And, it's just, it's almost like something went through me. It's almost like, I probably could have went and tried out. If you would have pursued it, there's no doubt. It took everything, that took everything away from me. Wow. For me to play like I did for him and perform like I did for him, and he did that to me. Years. And then it just took life out of me. Because you was a 3-year starter, am I correct? Right. You started 84, 85, started 85, 86, and 87. Right. Played off and on as a freshman. Played off and on as a redshirt freshman. And to have that kind of performance at a Tennessee State University had to be devastating. Yeah, well, I didn't know how bad it was until I, actually left. And then I didn't want to have anything to do with the school, football, nothing. Zero. I just completely. So you at that time really was kind of black. Tennessee State was the blackball for you because of what had happened and the way you felt like you gotten treated. Right. Simply because one person decided to tell NFL scouts that you was uncoachable. I think that's devastating for any person for someone to put that kind of charge on them. That's an impact. Right. And we're 60-year-old men now, and you're telling us this story. Have you ever shared that story with anyone that, to this type of degree? A few people, yeah. A few people? Yeah, a few people. And so, America, you're really getting this for the first time, that we know without a doubt this man should have been in the NFL.
but we know shoulda, woulda, coulda. He's still a very successful business owner. We're gonna talk a little bit about that because one of the things that we always want to do is leave legacy. But I want to just we're gonna kind of tag team now. I want y'all to tell us about family life. What was it like growing up in the house with daddy like a Roger? Was he strict? Was he cool? I know he's cool now. He always been cool and smooth. But what is it? Tell the folks in America, what is it like to grow up with an amazing father like a Roger Earl Holmes?
Man, my dad was cool. My dad was cool. He was strict. He instilled in all of us that we had to give our best. Not mediocre wasn't good enough. C, not good enough. We had to be our best, 10 times better.
Oh, I love it.
Is what he used to always say. And that like he instilled that grit. He instilled that work ethic in all of us. But he also knew how to have fun. And
that's for sure.
And that's one thing, to this day, my dad know how to get down.
Oh yeah.
He know how to get down, he knows how to have a good time. And that's something that I've always appreciated. That's something that I've always carried with me, that, you work hard, but then what are we doing this for? We gotta have a good time. You gotta remember the people that you love. You gotta just, let go, live life, laugh and love. And man, if I haven't told you, I carry that with me. I carry the lesson that you taught me every day.
Pretty big.
Even when I seemed like I wasn't listening, that I carry that with me. We got time for a story.
We got time, plenty of time. We got time. Tell us a story.
I'm gonna tell you this. All right. We was at church on Sunday, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I remember I asked Dad. He had on like this. It was like a camel blazer.
Mm-hmm.
It was hot. It was black. It was summer.
Okay.
And I said, Dad, why you wear that blazer knowing how hot it is outside? And he's walking. He's like, I'm not hot. When the wind blows, I'm cool.
He's cool.
And I'm cool anyway. So I'm always cool.
Yeah.
And so he walk around with the glasses and everything, looking real good. And I remember after church, we was on the way home, and it was a family on the side of the road, and the tire had blew out.
Mm-hmm.
And he didn't say a word. He just pulled the car over, got out the car, and he went and he changed that tire.
Just like that.
Just like that. He didn't say nothing to them. He just said, "Hey, y'all need some help?" Didn't take the jacket off. Got down.
Boom, boom, boom.
Tire, sweated everything, and got up, walked back to the car, and it had sweat dripping down. And he looked at me. He said, "I'm hot now."
Now that tells me that he believes in making an impact.
Mm-hmm.
And doesn't really care to impress anyone. It's all about making an impact.
Yeah.
I think that's incredible, man.
Mm-hmm.
That's the impact and the legacy that you're leaving on your kid, because you don't talk about it, you be about it.
Right.
Man, I want to ask you, Roger.
What's up?
What is it like, being some people think that when you've been married for a very long time, that you get tired of each other and just what has it been like to be married for over 30 years, am I right? Or
37.
together, 30-some years?
37.
37 years, to raise a beautiful family, to run an incredible business. What has that been like for you? Because, a lot of us who've gone through college, we've been married, divorced, and what have you. And you have just been one that have just really, just made it through so much. What has that been like being a father, husband, a man that do what you've done?
Well, the impact is, watching my dad and mom do the same thing.
Wow.
They stayed married 50 years, and it wasn't easy. It's work. It's
Hold up. Say it wasn't what?
it wasn't easy.
And it was what?
Work.
Okay.
That
I just
is,
want to make sure everybody heard that.
Work every day is continuous. It's a continuous transition. You transitioning with her, she transitioning with you. You working, and she working, and sometimes feel like I'm doing all the work. You know, it's a lot of work being married for 37 years, and it's a lot of time put in there, a lot of energy put in there. Some days you don't, times you came up and I'm sit here and say you want to change and do something different, and then you just have friends in your life. And I think the impact, me being married that long, is the men that have been in my life that's married with me. Wow. All my partners still married.
Yep.
Robert Hall.
Yep.
Johnny Weatherspoon.
Yep.
They still married.
Years on end. Yep.
Those guys still married.
Yep.
Reggie, he married. All my partners, my other guy, Michael Sawyer.
Yep.
He married, and those are dudes that's in my life. When you're a married man, you be with married men, and they give you sound advice, even when you don't want that sound advice.
Boy.
And that's what keep you married. If you dealing with single men or being around a lot of single men, they gonna give you advice that had never been married.
That's right.
So I always say, if you don't get advice, you get advice from people who been there and done what you done, because we can have that same lingo.
Yep.
So that would take you to the test of time being married a long time.
I think that is something that a marriage counsel can put in their little notebook to say, I'm gonna take these nuggets that I just got from Roger.
Absolutely.
We're gonna add that to our notebook and say, married people, not that they shouldn't hang out or see single people, but married people should have more married friends.
Absolutely.
Because it helps you
understand
one another and grow together.
Another friend is
wow. Amazing.
Brandon Wilcox, Ty Osmond, all those dudes was married a long time. And those people impact my life the most. And they're all my brothers.
Yep.
Every last one of them still married to the first person they married.
Oh, I love that.
Clarence been married over 40 years. Mike been married over 40 years. Melvin been married over, I think, 20 some years.
Wow.
So those examples is, if I need to just keep struggling, how they do it, we just talk about it.
We're talking about impact.
Yeah.
Impact over income. And one of the things that I have not heard is no one here at this table talk about income or money.
No.
I just find that to be just so amazing because, like Franz said earlier, you work hard, you get to play hard later. But you got to work hard. And he learned those skills and those ethics from you. And I just find it to be amazing to be sitting here with your son and him to tell the story of how hard he watched his father, and then you just tell the story of watching your mom and dad work as hard as they did, and tell the story about marriage being a work. Franz, you're a young man, and you're a married young man. Let me ask you, what has it been like being a father after watching your father do what he done in raising you and your siblings? What has it been like in you being a father? What has that impact been like for you?
And having Joelle, my daughter, that has been the most impactful thing of my life.
Yeah.
But my dad, he set the standard. He set the standard of, being a provider, being a protector, making sure that she's good, that she doesn't go without. Trying to, like he said, trying to put something in there and just do the best that I can.
Wow.
And then learning from him, just getting advice from him so that I can do better, so that he worked hard so that he could give me a better life, and I'm working hard trying to give her an even better life.
Impact over income. That is right there, legacy being set and laid right there. Foundation, man.
Yep.
Man, well, look, we're not out of time, but we're getting close.
What's
I
the
just
time?
want y'all to, we got about maybe 5 or 10 more minutes. And I just really want us to kind of think about this for a minute. All three of us are graduates of Tennessee State University, the
Absolutely.
great Tennessee State University. And we all three were athletes. If there was something that you could do right now that would give Tennessee State some of the things that it needs right now, what would it be and why? Because we know TSU is in great need of so many different things, but what would you want to give to Tennessee State if you had the power to do it right now, and why? And I'm gonna tell you my dream and what I have dreamed for years since the day I walked off campus from Tennessee State, something that I want to do and I plan to do it. God sparing life, health, and strength. I am going to do that for Tennessee State University. And it's going to be specifically for our football team because of what I would like to see happen, God's willing, before I leave this earth.
Well, for me, it's just impact. You got to have a form of impact, and that's monetary. That's some of the things I already have done. If I could give more, I would. But I have done that already. If anybody listening, you know, if you want TSU to perform, you want them to get back to the level of old TSU, we have to give money. We have to. I mean,
say that again. We got to do what?
Everybody complain about TSU, but we need money. These athletes.
No one has paid us to say that either, y'all.
Yeah, these athletes, the top athletes are getting paid. We got to pay them to come play. That's just what it is today. It's not like it was back in the day when we played. We got all the great athletes back in the day.
We sure did.
But now, those same athletes we got back in the day, we wouldn't get them today because we have to have the money to pay those athletes.
Yeah.
And I wish I had more money to give, more loose money to give, and not look back and say, hey, I gave $10,000 or $20,000. I'm cool with that, and move forward. You know, we have that. We need to do that.
Wow. And Franz, you being a young man, and you know, you have some pretty deep resources. What would be something that you would like to do at this day and time for Tennessee State University?
I mean, off the top, like what my dad said, I mean, I wish I could give them a bigger endowment. I wish I could give them, you know, a bigger war chest. I mean, athletics is a business. That it is more a business than it ever was before.
Absolutely.
And you know, you basically you got the Walmarts and the Amazons and the Googles, and you've got a smaller business trying to compete. And so you're either going to solve those problems with money, or you're going to solve those problems with innovation. You're going to solve those problems with enthusiasm. You're going to solve those problems with positivity. And so you got to have one or the other. It'd be great if you could have both. But how does a smaller player compete in a larger market? You know, that takes some, you know, some business sense. That takes some business mind and some forward thinking. But you got to have an alumni base.
Yep.
You got to have an alumni base.
The alumni, absolutely.
Give back. Y'all,
Give back. Absolutely.
What I still dream, and I've shared this with Roger, I dream of one day coming to TSU and putting a piece of paper down there, which would be a check, and writing a $1 million check to the athletic department for the football program.
Absolutely.
That's been a dream of mine since the day I left Tennessee State, because what TSU done for me is the reason I am who I am now. It really propelled Roger and I both. I'm talking about TSU's football program and that experience, the impact. I really, really, really would like to be able to sign my name and say Ron Johnson was the one to make absolutely sure that this $1 million go to Tennessee State University football program. That's a dream of mine. And I hope to be able to fulfill that.
That's an awesome dream.
One day before
Awesome
I
dream.
leave this earth, I want to And if there's any of my friends who are out there that
Absolutely.
would like to give me that check to give to Tennessee State, I will take it, and we'll make absolutely sure that Tennessee State gets it. But that is serious for me.
Absolutely.
And I want you guys to know, man, how impactful having both you guys here has been just so amazing for what we are trying to do with going forward with impact over income, the life of a black college athlete, but not
Absolutely.
just a black college athlete, the life of a person that goes to an HBCU
school.
And that's going to be our last question. I want to ask this question about being a student of an HBCU. What does that mean to you? This a student that have gone to a historically black college. What does that mean to you?
Man, for me, that means legacy. For me, that means knowing who you are, knowing your history, knowing where you stand, being comfortable in your own skin, being able to build those relationships with your peers, with the faculty there, knowing that they saw a bit of themselves in you. For me, my mom's birthday is June 19th, Juneteenth.
Wow.
Tennessee State was founded June 19th.
Wow.
Tennessee State birthed me. Tennessee State was my mother.
Wow.
My mom and dad went to Tennessee State. My brother went there. Like it's in my blood. It's in my blood. God saw fit to put me right next door to my dad's football coach because that's what I needed at the time.
Wow.
And so, that made me who I am. Just as much as my mom and dad who put me on the path. I knew Tennessee State was home before I knew Tennessee State
You
was
were going there before you got there. What about you, Roger?
Oh, HBU. I thought it was very educational. The teachers was everything they did was excellent. They taught you when I was in school. They taught you how to do what you do. I don't care. I was an engineer, so I was an industrial engineer. So you learned industrial engineering. You learned the field. You learned what you had to do there. And when you left,
It wasn't just in the book.
it just went in the book. You learned it. You did it. You done it. Everything you did there, you learned. Everything you learned, they taught me. That was some of my best teachers there that I ever had in my life was in a HBU school.
Wow.
And I hear a lot of people talk about the nursing program, the engineering program, the business program at TSU, the horticulture program at TSU.
Top agriculture program in the world.
In the world. Nobody even know about
Hands
that.
down.
Hands down. So they teach you. I had a friend of mine that was a nurse. He said when those nurses came from TSU, she could just turn them loose because they were taught. They were taught how to do their work. Same difference when I left TSU, I went to the bakery and I knew what to do when I got there.
Wow, and that's something.
I knew what the guy wanted when I got there because I was taught at TSU. So I always say those were some of the best teachers I ever had in my life.
Wow.
And they was passionate about teaching you.
Yeah.
And they wanted you to learn. I don't know what they doing now, but I'm talking about 83 through 87 when I graduated. I appreciate those teachers.
And I think I can echo that because
Absolutely.
one of the things that I can say that we experienced, and you probably did as well, was the teachers that taught us, they had actually gone to Tennessee State. So they were not just there as teachers that have gone and gotten degrees from other schools. They were birthed there as well.
Or from HBU schools, period.
Yes.
Vice versa, right.
They were people who knew exactly what it took. They taught us how to be who we are and be okay with being who we are. We was cool in our skin. And that was something that, going to a PWI, is that what they call it? It could be different for an African American. But when you go to an HBCU, man, it is like going home every day and seeing your brothers and sisters thrive, survive, and do all the things that they want to do to win this next chapter.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So with that, we are going to say, hey, thank y'all so much for
Absolutely.
joining us.
Thank
I
you.
really appreciate
you
y'all
having
for
us there.
being here.
Appreciate having us, man.
Man, this
been
has
wonderful.
been amazing.
Absolutely.
And before we go, is there anything that you guys would just like to say as a parting thought or whatnot? So when I get ready to close this thing out, we're gonna just go on. Anything y'all like to share with it?
Oh yeah, I would. I appreciate.
Go for it.
I appreciate Franz coming here and sharing his some of his thoughts and mind about the HBCU schools and how he felt, and then the impact that I did have on life. Sometimes you don't think you had an impact on your kid's life, but it's good to hear those things sometimes, and it's awesome to hear that sometimes, you know, because sometimes you think, man, all that work I've been doing, did they even get anything?
Yeah, didn't know you was making that kind of impact.
Making some impact, you know. It's good to hear that sometimes.
Wow.
And I appreciate him. I love him to death, you know.
Wow.
Always.
That's a father to his son. Okay, now, son, what do you have to say in the parting remarks to impact over income? And your father just got to almost making me cry sharing what he just shared with us about you. What do you have to say?
Yeah, I love you too, Dad, and I appreciate it, and I appreciate all the time and the energy, the work that you put in for the family, and you know, if you don't know, you are our rock. You are our superhero, OG, first superhero I ever had. So I appreciate that, and Ron, thank you for thinking enough of me to have me on your show,
Your
man.
nephew, bro. Your nephew, man. I mean, this is what it's all about, man. We
Right.
are family.
Right.
That's
Absolutely.
the thing that I love about, you know, Roger. One day, Roger and I are going to come and we're going to share a story that the world needs to know about the life of Ron Johnson. You got to see me in this light, and I'm glad that you're seeing me in this light, because I used to. No, I'm not going to tell y'all that.
Boy,
So just stay tuned for that jumpsuit I used to wear a long time ago. Anyway, thank y'all again.
We're going to let that go. We're going to let that go right now.
Thank y'all again for tuning in to Impact Over Income, the life of a black college athlete. You don't want to miss the next episode. Get ready.
Woo!
Man, well, so I gotta check it out.
What?
Boy, y'all made more noise, man. You almost made me cry, man. I don't cry. I'm a grown man, I don't cry. I'm telling you, man, it's so amazing, man, when you see family, man. Tell one another how much you care for them in a space where, you know, it don't happen a lot. We're talking about a black father and a black son saying to folks on national TV, Pop, I love you. How much I appreciate you. I remember when you stopped and changed somebody's tire. I mean, dude.